This is obviously some complicated algebra. And I don't care how good at algebra you are, if you are looking at this and not thinking to arithmetize, I'm sorry, but there is something very wrong with you. You do not want to do algebra here. Look at choices C and D, for example, right? What's the difference? Literally one negative or positive. You mess up that one thing, that's it. You've done all this work for nothing. So what arithmetize lets us do is simplify the problem by using numbers instead. So you need to look at this and go, okay, x equals 0, what happens? Well, if we plug that in, first of all, the first term completely disappears, right? Because if this x here is a 0, then what's really happening is we have 3 times 0, which is 0, over 0 plus 2. So the beauty of 0 is that once you get good at this, you can plug it in and really see what's going on very quickly. This is 0 over 2 minus 4 over negative 4. This is all going to cancel out. So really what we have is negative 4 over negative 4, which is 1. So that's our answer. That's what we're looking for. Now, obviously, the answer choices don't just say 1, but we can do the same thing to the answer choices that we did to the question, right? If we recognize that x is just a placeholder, we can replace the placeholder with whatever we want. Now, once we made it 0 in the beginning, we have to continue with the 0 at the end. We're trying to find an equivalent expression. So if we plug in 0, if it's equivalent, it should give us the same value out, okay? So let's just go through the rules here. So 0 in for x, look at how quick this can be. That's negative 4 over 6. That's not 1. Negative 4 over 2 times negative 1. Well, that's negative 4 over negative 2. That's not 1. Choice C is negative 8 over negative 8 because all these terms that have an x are going to go away if there's a 0 there. So this is going to be equal to 1. That looks good. Now we do need to check D just to be sure, because sometimes when we pick 0 or any number for that matter, we can sometimes get multiple answers that work. Don't worry about it. It's part of the process. But in this case, watch what happens. Everything goes away except 8 over negative 8, which is negative 1, which is not 1. Therefore, C is the answer. This is really quick and simple if we arithmetize, because then most of the stuff that we have to deal with goes away. We could solve this with algebra by finding the common denominator and using it to get the fractions into different forms and then subtract them, and we've got to distribute a negative. It's a whole thing. So you can do it, but why? Why do that to yourself when this strategy is here and it is reliable, it is fast, and it is much less of a chance of a mistake, because what's going to happen is occasionally you're going to think you're doing the algebra right, you're going to lose a negative somewhere along the way, and that wrong answer will be an answer choice, and you won't even think twice about checking it because you'll feel really good that you got an answer. This is the problem with multiple choice questions. The answers that are wrong aren't wrong randomly. They are wrong because they know the mistakes you're going to make, and what arithmetize does is it really lowers the chance that we fall for those traps.